In this tutorial, you will learn how to use @AutoWrite annotation to implement the relationship between two bins in the Spring context. Okay, in the previous tutorial, we learned how to implement the relationship using direct method call, and also we learned how to using @annotated method parameter, @bin annotated method parameter. And if you are the first time watching this, you need to add the Spring context dependency to your pom.xml, and as well here in the app.java you need to initialize the Spring context annotation config application context with your app config. And here we have the app config. As you can see, it is empty now. So we have this book, okay, and we have the getters and setters, and we use the toString that when we use the library instance to return the book, it will return the name of this book, and here is the library. Okay, first let's annotate it with the stereotype annotation. So we use the add component to add it to the Spring context, and for this we also use the add component to add this as the Spring context. Okay, so and we will go back to the app config. Inside the app config we will use the add component scan, add component scan. So we'll have coding techniques as a base packages. So by doing this, it will check these coding techniques package. We have sub packages here, coding techniques, and it will pick all the classes that we annotate it with the stereotype annotation, that is a bin class. Okay, so you can see we have the app config class here. Remember, you have to provide this based on your package. Okay, so now let's save these changes. Now we have two bin in the Spring context, and let's try to access to see if the relationship is met. But let's go to the library. You see this library have the book. We need to annotate this with @AutoWrite annotation. Okay, so book in the Spring context, and we will have access to the value of the book here. Okay, so let's do this. The next thing we will do is that we will use the library equal to context, that we will get the reference to the library in the Spring context. So we will have library.class. Okay, so let's save the changes, and then we will access the library using the first. Let's use this system.out.print to print it in the console, and we will set the library name. So and we will access the library name using the getter get name. Okay, and for the book, since that in the book we are returning the toString, have the book name like this. So when we go back to this, we will just use the library dot get book. Okay, but remember the name of the book is empty, and the name of the library as well. Okay, since that we are getting the book name and we said that it is title here, so let's add the value to this title. Set that is just for testing, it is not a good practice. Okay, so let's set the name is the character of the physical law. Okay, and save this. And for the library, let's add the name to this library, community library. Okay, so let's save this and go back to the app.java. Okay, so let's try to run this to see if we have the relationship between these. You can see we have the community library, the book name, the character of a physical law as we have added. Okay, so this is how we use the @AutoWrite annotation to implement the relationship. Now going back to the book, that is, we use the @AutoWrite to inject on the field, and we can use it on the constructor as well as on the setter. Okay, so let's use this on the constructor. Let's generate the constructor using the source. Generate constructor using the book. Okay, and we will add the @AutoWrite on this, and when we save this and run, we will have the same thing, that is the community library and the name, the character of a physical law. Okay, so as well we can also use this on the setter, and using it on the setter, it is not a good practice. So now let's look at the setter. Here we have the setter set book. So but before then, let's run to confirm. You can see we will have error. For this we will have null. Okay, so now let's add this @AutoWrite on the setter and rerun this. So you can see we have the book, the character of the physical law. It provided the value to the setter, that is the value of the book. Okay, that is how we use annotation on the field, on the constructor, and on the setter in the Spring framework.